Divorces can be messy. It can leave kids feeling like a foundation of their life that was built on the love between their parents collapsed. But there can be benefits. You get presents from both. You know, they try to compete to give you more presents. I don't know. That's what I heard. But what is really awkward, and this is just the case, like, you know, when you go out to dinner and you're with a couple and they're bickering at each other and you're just sort of like, can I not be here for this? Well, especially when they're drinking. Oh gosh. Well, you never even want to have sex with me anyways. You probably think I'm ugly. No, I don't. You just haven't gone to the gym in a while. It's like, I don't want to be here for this, you know? But I also do in this sick way where I'm kind of happy to be a fly on the wall because it's intriguing, as long as it's not, which it never would be because they're the best couple ever. Unironically, my parents, I would not like to hear that debate. But other people's parents, come on, 24/7. So where am I going with this? You might be asking. Elon and Trump are like that couple now, where Elon has gone absolutely nuclear on Trump with his most aggressive post yet, speaking out against Trump. We'll get to that. I thought he was going to stop here because in this last interview, he said, I don't really want to speak out against Trump because then people blame me, but I don't love the big, beautiful bill. But now he's let his complete thoughts be known. And this is as Trump is freaking out constantly about anyone who opposes the bill. So here's the context, and then we'll look at his most recent post.
So, you know, I was like disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along. I mean, like, everything he's done on Doge gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. My personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. And on the bonus show, I won't get back into it, but we discussed Elon saying, what a small government, not a big government, and not such an extent. And it caused me to have a little bit of a breakdown because that analysis of politics is wildly oversimplified and ridiculous. Well, now Elon's posting something very aggressive, and we'll look at that and then talk about what Trump has been posting. Before, please do click the subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even if you're not subscribed, you know what? I appreciate you too, just for watching. So Elon said, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. Now remember what he's about to say. This is about Trump's baby. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. You never want to have sex with me. Equivalent. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. This is Trump's baby.
How the turntables.
Right. This is significant. We knew that the relationship wasn't amazing, but it's getting much worse. And he's posting that as Trump is going totally ham on social media about anyone who dares to speak out against it. Passing the one big, beautiful bill is a historic opportunity to turn our country around after 4 disastrous years under Joe Biden. So much spending cuts. It's all amazing. Everyone's going to love it. Type language. Then he says, so many false statements are being made. There's no cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's just a lie. It's crazy he's able to say that. What? And then he goes on to rant about that. And then he's ranting about other things. But then he gets to Rand Paul, who's speaking out against the bill. Very little understanding of the BBB. Especially the tremendous growth that is coming. He loves voting no on everything. He thinks it's good politics, but it's not. The BBB is a big winner. I just keep thinking of a BBL every time I read that, the BBB. It's so beautiful. It's so big and so beautiful. And then he talks about a biological male competing in sports. Rand votes no on everything, but never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy. Losers. The people of Kentucky can't stand him. This is a big growth bill. You get the point. He's losing it at anyone who speaks out against it. And now Elon is among the ranks of those people. I cannot, please, Trump, please, can you speak out directly against Elon? I want the dinner fight. I want it. I want it so bad. And this was funny. A Fox reporter brought this up to Levitt in the press briefing that we already covered, but we didn't get to this part, saying, not is Trump going to be mad? How mad is Trump going to be?
Just cross, Caroline, how mad do you think President Trump is going to be when he finds out that Elon Musk said, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it."
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it. Cameron.
I just want to call you.
I'm going to throw up.
I just want to call you back. That seemed like an accidental soundbite. Do you remember the kid press briefing? As Levitt was talking about things, she had to dumb it down for kids. And then we had this bizarre realization that she talks exactly like she was talking to kids, like she talks to reporters. That's a great moment. What is Trump's react? How mad? And then the reporter too. How mad is Trump gonna be when he hears what Elon said? And then Caroline Levitt. Well, he thinks it's a big, beautiful bill. It's just our politics has become so reduced. I'm honestly refreshing Trump's True Social feed. I want him to respond. I want it. I want it so bad. Now, the fact that now even Elon doesn't support this isn't some random thing. This is the legislative agenda of Trump. The reason he calls it big is because it's like all of his ambitions in one big bill. And that's being described by his former, we called him a bromantic partner, like they were so tight, as a disgusting abomination. It might be why Elon said this during a recent interview.
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
We won on the Elon issue. Just sometimes it feels like we never get a win. We won on that. Right? We were from very early on saying, wait, a billionaire? I mean, we lost in the sense that he did a lot of bad stuff in the meantime. But pretty quickly, he was pushed out, and now he's even saying, I'm out. I don't want to spend. I don't want... He was going to be the guy who funded all the MAGA candidates in the midterms. He's pulling back. That's how much the opposition to him won. And if you're thinking, well, we as a movement, we need leaders of that movement. Where the Democrats be at? Well, they're handing out free tacos. Andrew Solander says, news you can use. The DNC is serving free tacos outside the RNC building on Capitol Hill from 12 to 2 p.m. today as a play on the Trump Always Chickens Out slogan. Ah ha 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 ha. I get, like, thanks for trying, I guess. But it's just every time I just picture Chuck Schumer. Here's a taco because Trump is doing, he's chickening. He's a chicken. You know what that means? He's a chicken. All right. I gotta be honest. I like how much that's getting under his skin, Trump's, but I don't know if that's like the thing we need to put all the, he chickens out. Yeah. But that kind of misses. It sounds like you're rooting for him to keep his high tariffs. Like he chickens out because he doesn't have any coherent economic agenda. But the harm that that's doing to people, I wish we could have a slogan that gets at that a little bit more. But again, I appreciate the effort, but just it's such a Democratic thing. Like everything's in chaos and Trump's messing up everything. It's like they're out handing out tacos. That's just the Democratic Party right now. Like, is this good? Because Trump's a chicken. Here's a chicken bumper sticker because he's a chicken with the hair. And so then the vote Democrat. You heard Trump ranting against Rand Paul. Here's some of what he was saying about the bill.
In a separate post, Trump said there's a false narrative about spending in this bill. He said it is, quote, single biggest spending cut in history by far. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins me now. Mr. Senator, I know you want more spending cuts included in the bill. Can you tell us what specifically you'd want to cut?
Yeah, it's even more than that. The biggest objection I have to the bill is adding $5 trillion to the debt ceiling. I'm actually very supportive of the tax cuts. I don't accept the CBO notion that the tax cuts will lead to deficits. The reason I believe there'll be more deficits is they're raising the debt ceiling $5 trillion. We know that this year, most of the Republicans, not me, voted to continue the Biden spending levels in March. So we're going to go through September of this year, and the deficit for this year is going to be over $2 trillion. If you're borrowing $5 trillion, that makes me think you're going to add over $2 trillion, maybe $2.8 trillion next year. So it doesn't show me that you've turned around. If you look at the spending cuts, it's complicated because it's at $1.5 trillion. It sounds like this enormous number, but it's over 10 years, so it's $150 billion a year. They're also increasing spending for the military and for the border, $300 billion. That's actually more than all the DOGE cuts that we've found so far. So something doesn't really add up here.
Yeah, Varney. Thanks, Varney. Look at him. Big beautiful bill. So I think that here's the problem. This is what's annoying about covering inner Republican clashes is you go, yeah, Rand Paul, get a punch. Nice. Yes. Elon. Ooh. Trump's going to be mad about that. But like every person in the equation is wrong. So Trump's wrong that it doesn't add to the deficit. And this is fueling our debt problem. But they're cutting so much spending, and that's also wrong. But it's all being offset. The spending cuts aren't even going to address our debt problem because of the huge tax cuts. And so as just a very basic request from us is, hey, how about we just don't lower taxes on the top 1%? Oh, we can eat top 10%? Oh, okay, top 1%, just top. And the Rand Pauls, the Elons, etc., even people speaking out against the bill, they want all those tax cuts still. They just want so much spending reductions that would annihilate social programs and cause literally a bunch of death because people don't have life-saving food and insurance, that then it's balanced out. So, yeah, good point about the math. They're lying about the math, but you're rooting for something that would probably even be worse somehow. That's where I'll leave it. Share your thoughts in the comments.